Alright, so this is Grixis Hollow Flayer. If you haven't been through the modern portion of my website, this is one of the many decks that you can find up there. So this is Red-Black Hollowed 1 has been a deck in Modern that's been, you know, Tier 1, Tier 1.5, Tier 2, like some mix of powerful and reasonable for a little while now. This deck is kind of Red-Black Hollowed 1 with a bit of a twist. The twist in this case is the card Soulflayer, the deck's named after. So when this card delves away something with a keyword, it gains those keywords. So we have Zetalpa, which is basically keyword soup, along with Striped Riverwinder, which gives hexproof to put lots of great keywords on the Soulflayer. We also have a couple of Gifted Aetherborn here, which have Death Touch and Lifelink, but basically Striped Riverwinder kind of works with our Hollowed 1 game plan. And just kind of cycling through our deck and filling up our graveyard, but it's also good with Soulflayer. Because we're leveraging a blue splash for Striped Riverwinder anyways, we also get to play a few copies of Stubborn Denial in the sideboard, which is useful for various combo and the burn matchup. So this is a deck that we've played, I don't know, probably half a dozen leagues or so in the last year plus, and I think this deck's super reasonable just because, like, at worst, it's a little bit slower Hollowed 1 deck, but it also has a little bit more go over the top power. What's going on, Zuchin? Good morning. Yeah, build your own Too Bad at Bogle is a great way to think about it. And it's harder to interact with than a Bogle in some ways too, right? Because, like, it's not just hexproof, it's, like, also indestructible. Morning, Anner. Rudy, thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate the third of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I keep this. It's got Fatal Push for like a smidge of interaction. It's got Street Wraith and Burning Inquiry to maybe get stuff going. Zerblin, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Smells like Death Shadow. Flamey, baby, exactly. Foothills, 4-color Shadow, probably not Grixis. Could be some kind of zoo deck as well. Just be like a random Traverse the Elvenwald deck. Chancellor of the Dross. What does that card do? They lose 3 life and you gain 3 life. I think that's probably too narrow. I'm going to hold on to the Street Wraith for now, I think. I think my plan here is to just fetch shock, kill this Wild Nicottle on 1. Probably Goblin Lore on 2. Morning, Danon. Have a safe flight. So Wild Nicottle here starts off as a 1/1 and then gets larger as they add land types to play. So I assume my opponent will floop up planes down here. And then this will be a 3/3 to attack us. So we're going to fetch shock and fatal push this so we don't take the hit from it. I think I want to fetch shock here. Cause like I need black for the Soulflayer. Yeah, it could be a Tribal Flame Shadow deck. Could just be like... There's been other iterations of things similar to this in the past. A bit like Monastery, Swift Spear, and stuff like that. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and start by cycling the Street Wraith, see where we get. Another Soulflayer. Alright, so I think I just cast Goblin Lore here. This draws 4 cards and discards 3 at random. So we ditched a Gifted Aetherborn and a Tasigur the Golden Fang and a land there. We hit Striped Riverwinder. So next turn, I can cycle the Riverwinder off the island and then cast Soulflayer as a 4/4 lifelink death touch hexproof creature. Wonder if that's good enough. I can also gamble a little bit and Burning Inquiry to have each of us draw 3 and discard 3 at random. But that could potentially go sideways should I end up binning both my copies of Soulflayer. I also, I don't have control over what gets discarded with Inquiry, right? So, I could just, not discard the Zetalpa. An ideal draw here would be a Faithless Looting into another black source. That way I can guarantee ditch the keyword soup Zetalpa and then cast the Soulflayer. Today's fetch shock to 12. I assume we're going to see a Death Shadow here. Yeah, it's not surprising. The third Mishra's Bubble, yep. Well, that's the extra black source. I think I'm going to go for it. I'm going to shock this in. I'm going to go ahead and Burning Inquiry, hopefully ditch the Zetalpa, keep a Soulflayer. Alright, I lost my Soulflayer. I did at least ditch Striped Riverwinder. I hit Faithless Looting. I'm actually just going to go ahead and Collective Brutality and try and kill this Death Shadow. If they have a Street Wraith, this goes sideways on me, but hopefully they don't. Because I didn't discard the Zetalpa to the Burning Inquiry. They could have a Lightning Bolt too here, I suppose. They could, bolt themselves. Maybe I'm supposed to discard... It's possible I'm supposed to discard this island to take a look at their hand, because if they, bolt themselves here, or, something like this, and then, they have a Temur Battle Rage next turn, I could die. So, yeah, I think I should have... escalated the Collective Brutality there. Good morning, Guacamole. Yeah, I think there's a chance I end up dead here because I didn't take a peek at their hand. The 4-color Shadowless are usually a little bit more all in. Yep. So this thing's a 7/7 now, so we're dead to Temur Battle Rage. Which, this is turn 4, right? I gave them a turn 4 and I successfully did not kill their Death Shadow, so. Am I dead? Looks like I'm dead. Yeah, I should have been this to escalate. That was a mistake on my part. Because if we got the old Soulflayer down, they'd have been very dead. With the Zetalpa lines on it. Gifted Aetherborn sounds good here. Fatal Push and Lightning Bolt sound great. Explosive is probably wonderful in this matchup, huh? They likely have a ton of 1-mana creatures. I think I'm gonna just get rid of the Flamewake Phoenixes here. I feel like I don't really need that grindy access. Hey, Otros. Thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub, and thanks for the half year. Welcome back. Welcome back. Did they fix the powder bug? Not to my knowledge. So, Colorless Eldrazi is going to have to rot in the queue until they post a changelog if that's fixed. I think I want to trim Burning Inquiry here. I could also see bolts plus explosives. Yeah, I think maybe Fatal Push, Bolt, and Explosives is a little bit too much interaction. Maybe on the draw, I'll cut 2 Inquiries for some bolts. Isha, don't know if this is 2 weeks late or 2 weeks early, but yeah, 13 months, right? The whole awkwardness of these notifications has been wild. Thank you for re-upping at the tier 3. Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your week. Yeah, this is fine. It's got turn 1 Fatal Push, turn 2 Goblin Lore, sign me up. Needs another black source for the Soulflayer, but pretty reasonable otherwise. Dan Halen, thanks for checking in for the 10th month. Welcome back. So like here's the thing, Oatrose. You can still play some interesting twists on like established decks in Modern and be fine. You just can't play bad decks. The problem that I feel like a lot of people fell into, especially on this channel with like the decks I've been rejecting, is like people took it's a meme to just say like, ah ha ha, here's my deck full of unplayable Magic the Gathering cards. It's a meme, ha ha, play it, lose 3 matches, ha ha, it's funny because it's bad. It's like, well, it's like it's not really funny. It's just bad, right? Like it doesn't do something interesting or sweet, so it's just like terrible. Gnome, thanks for the 11 months. Welcome back. And Chalky, 6 months ago, Jeff posted an article about some GP results on Reddit, and here I am, $100 poorer. Thanks for the support, Chalky. Welcome back. Did we clip that? I was too busy laughing. Yeah. Alright, so I think I'm going to grab Watery Grave here, since I already have a mountain. I don't really need double red. And then hopefully the goblins let us keep these 2 and ditch this one. Survey says. Nope. Discarded 3 cards we wanted to keep. Kept the one we didn't want to keep. The good news is I did find Faithless Looting here, so if my looting or my draw step next turn hit a black source, we get to Soulflayer with all of Zetalpa's keywords, which would be great. Sure. Do I have any thoughts on the London Mulligan rule? I think it's awesome. I think having less non-games of Magic is a noble cause. I think one of the things I try to hammer home here on this stream for people who have unrealistic expectations when playing Magic the Gathering is that Magic the Gathering has an absurd amount of variance in it. And I think things like the London Mulligan that serve to reduce that absurd amount of variance are a net positive for Modern and Magic in general. I think if people feel the mulligan change in formats like Modern and Legacy and Vintage causes certain decks to become oppressive, rather than keeping Magic incredibly high variance, you should just ban the things that are a problem. I think things like Dredge and Tron and these other decks that people are worried about abusing the London Mulligan rule have always been a problem for the format. I think they were a problem before this Mulligan change, and people weren't willing to like look at it and think critically about it. But I think anything that's a problem with this change was already a problem, and we just weren't willing to admit it. Alright, and I think sliding this explosives out on 2 keeps us alive here. Quick rules note for people not familiar. Even though I only tapped 2 mana for this thing has a converted mana cost of 6 still. So this will be able to hop in front of Monastery Swiftspear, and this will blow up to kill the Charmergoyf, and then this will kill them next turn in the air. So my problem with your statements, SD, is that you're doing kind of classic what about. That's like whataboutism basically. You're saying Tron's fine because this other thing is terrible. It's like, well, the getting Thing in the Iced and Phoenix because Faithless Looting's a messed up magic card is also the case, right? Like, Tron can be unacceptable. The fact that there are things more unacceptable than Tron doesn't make Tron acceptable, right? Is basically the TLDR is where I would go. I don't think they can kill me here. I suppose that they have a fat pile of mutagenic growths in a Teamer Battle Rage we could die. Or what? They could mutagenic growth and then become immense and then Teamer Battle Rage or some mix of that. I think if their hand is TBR, become immense, mutagenic growth, we die here. I think I actually messed up here because I should have blown up Engineer Explosives. If I control the ban list, what change would I make? I'd ban Ancient Stirrings, I'd ban Faithless Looting. Yeah, I'd ban Ancient Stirrings and Faithless Looting. And then I'd unban Splinter Twin and Birthing Pod. I think we're probably dead here. Ooh, that doesn't have double strike. That's good for me. So I blew up the Engineered Explosives in response to this Teamer Battle Rage here because taking the Tarmogoyf off the table means my opponent loses Ferocious, which means the Monastery Swiftspear doesn't have Trample, which is good. All right, so on the draw, I think I want to be more interactive here. Just to, like, take things a little bit slower. I'm going to trim 2 Burning Inquiries and bring in these Bolts. Like, obviously, Bolt's not great against, like, Goyf and Death Shadow, but they have Swiftspear and Wild Nacatl, which Bolt is live against. This hand seems not unreasonable, right? Like, it's not a super fast hand, but, like, Fatal Push into Gifted Aetherborn's, like, a heck of a start. What is that emote? That emote is the card Stoneforge Mystic held behind bars because she's been unjustly banned in Modern. So when they first created Modern as a format, Wizards of the Coast banned a bunch of cards in Modern that were too good in their respective standard formats, which caused cards like Stoneforge Mystic to be banned even though they're likely fine just because people were afraid of them previously. Yeah, I think Stoneforge would be fine for the format. I know I said Birthing Pod and Splinter Twin, but Stoneforge would be fine too. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of that, Panza. I think there's going to be a lot of this hand is keepable, but we decided to mulligan because we think mulliganing is good all of a sudden. Yes, guess what? Mulliganing's still bad. Still not good to mulligan. If it makes you feel better, Venfaith, Zetalpa is only a modern card on this channel. I think I want to cast the Gifted Aetherborn here. I could, like, BI and, like, try and stick the Gurmag Angler, but I think guaranteed getting Aetherborn into play is good here. As a good defensive unit here. 2-3, Death Touch, Lifelink, etc., etc. My opponent also doesn't appear to have a threat, which is good for us. All right, I ripped the Soulflayer, which makes casting Burning Inquiry a lot more appealing. I'll start by attacking for 2. Gain me a little bit of life. Makes their Death Shadows better, but, like, I think it's worth giving them a poke here. All right, so let's Burning Inquiry, keep the Soulflayer, ditch the Zetalpa, draw Black Source. That's the dream. I attacked before well, we hit the Black Source part. We did at least draw a Black Source. Yikes. Yikes. So we discarded 3 cards we wanted to keep, and they discarded 2 lands and a useless Temur Battle Rage. Sounds par for the course. I mean, their hand could be a bunch of removal. There's no way we know what's in their hand. Alright, probably dead here, because we discarded 3 good cards, they discarded 3 blanks. We did technically put lethal on board, you're not wrong. What cards from Amonkhet and Kaladesh are you excited to play with in Standard Plus? I don't know. I didn't play a ton of Standard in that format, so I don't really know what's there. And, like, it's hard to know which cards are going to be interesting to play with without knowing, like, everything else that we have coming up. Like, formats are very much a sum of their parts. Alright, my Aetherborn is dead. Was threat dense with a second Gurmag and Gurmag. Yeah, kinda. I didn't have lands to, like, get them all deployed, though. Glad I ran out. Glad I got my 6-month in before my primer out. Always glad to see modern content not around much anymore. Well, Mind, thanks for the half year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, so what's the dream draw here? The dream draw is Faithless Looting into Soulflayer. That is a land that doesn't do anything. We go to attack with Gurmag Angler here. Attacking with Gurmag Angler gives them the ability to trade Tarmogoyf for my fish, but I think I'm okay with that exchange. I think I am A-okay with that one. That turn could have gone very poorly if we would have had a removal spell. Like, if we had Fatal Push there, my opponent just, like, loses the game on the spot. Unfortunately, we didn't, so here we are. I guess they could have had, like, now, if they had mutagenic growth, they probably would have played it. Yay! Thought sees me. All right, let's make Soulflayer an excellent draw. I would like to flay your soul, please. We need more souls, man. We need more souls. All right, they're down to 1 card. I'm at 16. I'm going to 14. Come on. Let's go. Do. Beep, 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 beep. Would also settle for an Engineered Explosives. That card would be quite excellent on this board. Card would be quite excellent on this board. I'm holding on to lands at this point because Faithless Looting in my deck could turn them into spells later. Alright, this is it. One last shot. It's the chance to roll. Opportunity, draw another land now. We are very dead. Very, very dead. This is MTG, not a real estate emulator. We've got huge tracts of land. Huge, huge tracts of land. "10 months ago, I found Jeff to get me through my workday. Now he keeps me from doing my schoolwork." Do your schoolwork. It's important. Thanks for the 10 months, Erdium. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Nathan, thanks for the 4 months. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I appreciate it. Now, as much as I feel 1 mana discard is pretty bad game design, I don't think it's anywhere near ban worthy. To go ahead and cast this 4/4 on turn 1. So this is Hollowed One. This card is a 5 mana 4/4 that says this card costs 2 less for each card you've discarded or cycled this turn. So we discarded 3 cards in the first turn of the game here, which let us play this 4/4 for free. I drew the Striped Riverwinder. It's possible I should have fetched a blue source. Is my opponent going to send my Hollowed One on a path to exile? Let's see if they let me bring this Flamewake back. The Flamewake's an intervening if clause. If they path this in response to this trigger, I do not get it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a Steam Vents here for an extra red source, I think. Let's cycle the Striped Riverwinder. Cast Faithless Looting. It's a Gurmag Angler. I think I'm keeping the big fish here. I'm going to ditch these two, I think, and pass. I have 10 cards in my bin, which means I can fish and Soulflayer here. This is the part where they play the main deck Rest in Peace, because Modern's super inbred, right? Noble Hierarch. Deal. Huh. Mausoleum Wanderer. Okay, so they're playing that deck. So I can play Soulflayer here as a... Last night on my LTS was a free Modern event. 2 JAC combo to a 4-0, beating Abzed mid-range and Black-Red Hollowed One. Nice. Yeah, stay linear. Get him, exactly. All about the linears. Yeah, I can have a 4/4 flying hexproof haste. Is that like good enough though? I'm not I'm not sure that that's, like, good enough on this board. I kind of want to just flashback Faithless Looting. I think I'm gonna flashback Faithless Looting. I'd like a Zetalpa or a... Kill both their things. I don't know that I want to kill both their things. I mean, I just, like, I don't feel like 4/4 flying haste is, like, good enough to win here. I feel like it comes up short in the terms of, like, actually crossing the finish line, so it feels not worth it. I'm gonna put this Gurmag down since I have plenty of things to delve away here. Hey, it's easier to do well with good decks. Weird, I know. I guess I'm down to 7 already here. They missed their 3rd land last turn, so, like, they could have a collected company here. I think we're probably dead. I guess this puts card number 8 in my bin, so, like, I can play 2 Soulflayers next turn if I want. Even that. No, I don't have a 4th block to do double Soulflayer, huh? Morning, Scooter. Happy Tuesday. A problem is, like, what does it even do as a flying blocker, Brian? Like, it would have literally just been a jump blocker. You like how long it takes to register us having guide? Like, hold on, you'll be dead in a moment. Wait for it. We had hexproof and we had flying in there. Lifelink seems like it could be useful from this, but at the same time, At the same time, it just doesn't block. Although I guess it, like, attacks okay, and eventually they have to trade with it. I'm gonna trim a Flamewake Phoenix here. As a wall, not a chump. I mean, it's really not on that board, Brian. It's like, all of they're basically playing a bunch of pack rats. So I think we shock in Watery Grave on 1 to Fatal Push a Noble if they have it. And then turn 2 can be Faithless Looting, discard Hollow one. Yeah, so like you're arguing that I should have been conservative, and I'm saying that I felt like I had a better chance to win by trying to high roll and hit something that like did something really meaningful. So I disagree with your assessment that being conservative was correct. I think attempting to high roll to hit cards that allow me to win the game on the spot, as opposed to being super conservative and trying to lose slowly, I think is incorrect. You are welcome to disagree with me, but I think trying to high roll there was the optimal line. Engineered Explosives tends to be really clunky and awkward in this matchup. Not only is it really terrible against Spell Queller, but it's also not great in the face of like Selfless Spirit. That's a Soulflayer, and I have a Zetalpa in there already, so we'll do that and ditch that. Brian, I get what you're saying, and I disagree with you. So let's just leave it at that. In general, not even just this deck that I'm playing, but I think boarding Engineered Explosives in general against Spirits tends to be wrong. I don't know. I wouldn't be super surprised if we see some amount of Planeswalkers that aren't just like up-down ultimate moving forward. It's definitely a neat design space to have. I just like put another 4/4 into play here. I kind of feel loose casting Soulflayer without hexproof in this matchup. So I could like flashback Faithless Looting and dig that way. Potentially putting lethal onto the table has appeal though with Soulflayer though. And I feel like if they had a path, I guess they already had Thalia in play. They could just be... I think if they had a path, they wouldn't have Mausoleum Wandered me here. Let me go ahead and cast this. I think if they had a path, they wouldn't have Mausoleum Wandered there. They would have held up the path. I don't think I want to play this. I think I'm going to pass. It's lethal. Thanks for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Phase 0 checking in for the 14th month. Thanks for the support, folks. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing well. All right. Show me Deputy of Detention. Always lethal. We got you. We aim to please. Oh, geez. Does this copy my keywords? This does not copy my keywords. God bless us, everyone. Ah, it was right there. It was right there. It could have been hexproof. That's so sad. It could have been hexproof. Zetalpa and the Riverwinder. Alright. Smush. Smush, smush, smush. Smush, 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 smush. If you're chump blocking anyways, why wouldn't you chump block the double striker? I guess it's trample. It's trample too, right? Right, you can't chump block this one, so that's great. God bless. I forgot some of Keyword Soup Dino's keywords. Nom 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 nom. Keyword soup is delicious. Get him, get him. And like that's why I was trying to high roll last game, right? Like this is like pretty unbeatable if they don't have the path. Someone asked about the new Engineered Explosive-esque land. It seems reasonable. Like, an effect like that is much slower than Engineered Explosives, but like the fact that you're like tacking it onto a land resource, like, changes the dynamic. It'll be interesting to see if it's playable in Standard, though, because like, colorless lands come at a real premium in this format. Alright, let's do it. Alright. You don't register Burning Inquiry to not try and hollowed one-on-one. Yikes! Yikes! We lost Gurmag Angler, hollowed one Tasigur, and we failed to draw the second land. I feel like we're not lucky enough to play this deck this morning, chat. It's kind of feeling like we are not lucky enough to play this deck this morning. Not only did we discard 3 cards we wanted to keep, but we missed our land drop. I guess I get some more looks at a land here, huh? That is until they spell queller this Faithless Looting. So they have spell queller up here, right? So I think that means I'm supposed to start by cycling this. Ding. Ring-a-ding-ding. We're so smart and thin, chat. So smart and thin. You could maybe make the argument that I'm supposed to just not Faithless Looting there and just, like, go Blood Crypt tapped. Very possible that I'm not supposed to. Supposed to do that. I think I'm going to go ahead and Goblin Lore. Alright. Our opponent has suggested we quell ourselves, so probably dead. Oh, Fluck. Alright, so what has to happen here? We have to Burning Inquiry, ditch. We have to Burning Inquiry, ditch Zetalpa, and hit a black source that doesn't hurt us, ideally. Alright, instead we discarded the Soulflayer and a bunch of other stuff, and it didn't matter, and we died. Yeah, Roger! I am probably not lucky enough to play this deck this morning. Well, and part of the problem too, Flying, is that, like, in addition to, like, Magic Online not being accessible in terms of, like, being able to look at the cards that are on screen with any terms of overlay, like, Modern as a format has such a deep card pool, so many random things that are playable, you can't even just memorize the artworks of the key cards because there's so many of them. How do you determine which cards to discard randomly in paper? You can roll dice, you can, like, take your hand and, like, shuffle it up like this, then, like tell your opponent to, like, pick their favorite 3 or whatever. It's tedious and annoying, though. It is as tedious and annoying as you think it is. So, this hand has a decision to make. I could cycle Street Wraith on 1, hoping to hit Faithless Looting and high roll the hollowed one on turn 1. Alternatively, I could just wait a turn and cycle Street Wraith plus Striped Riverwinder on 2 to guarantee the hollowed one. I hit Goblin Lore here. I think the fact that I drew Goblin Lore for 2 means I'm going to try and high roll. Because if I if I don't hit there, next turn I can Goblin Lore and then still get going. Bloodbath, thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Oh, I should have cycled this because I could hit another Street Wraith, right? Yeah, I should have cycled this on my turn because this could cycle into a Street Wraith, and then I could have played Hollowed One for free. All right, so we're taking 8. So on their turn 2, they're attacking me for 8. Show me the Street Wraith I punted. Thank goodness. All right, that's a Zetalpa. Mountain. Am I going to triple escalate this? I think I'm going to triple escalate this. Ditch this, ditch this. Just like spot check for a Galvanic Blast here. Dismember, okay. Our opponent is attacking us for 6 next turn, putting us to 2. Dead to Galvanic Blast. Dead to the Blink Moth Nexus here, I believe. I don't think I have any outs at this point. I'm going to 1. And then the Blink Moth is an evasive creature that kills me next turn. Just almost turn 4 lethal out of the opponent. Almost turn 3 lethal, has turn 4 lethal. Fatal. Okay, so technically my outs are Goblin Lore into Black Source that doesn't hurt me plus Fatal Push. I guess I do this. Moto takes so long to confirm we die. It's just like, wait for it. Wait for it. Collective Brutality and Gifted Aetherborn aren't very good here. Rockin' Zanir, thank you for the 2 years of support and the very generous tier 3 sub. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So, the Gifted Aetherborn isn't very good at blocking in this matchup. However, Lifelink is kind of an appealing attribute to have. Part of me wants to cut these Striped Riverwinders because my opponent probably doesn't have that many ways that can kill this, although I guess they did show me Dismember. I'm going to trim one of these. The fact that they have a path makes me stop, or path, sorry. The fact that they had a planes in their deck makes me think perhaps they have the Metalcraft card Dispatch in their deck as one of their colored spells, which also makes keeping some Striped Riverwinders appealing. I feel like this deck would be great if you were good at casting Burning Inquiry. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the games that we've just, like, kind of died have been because, like, our Burning Inquiries have just been, like, the worst possible results, right? Like, our BIs have been, like, not only do we not discard the cards we want to discard, but we're discarding all the cards we want to keep every time. That's just, like, and that's just part of playing normal Hollowed One, too, right? Like, sometimes you cast this card and it's like you're playing Hearthstone, right? Just, like, no control over your future. Oh. All right. The takeaway from today's league. If you're going to register Burning Inquiry, I would recommend that you be much luckier than I was today. Regardless of if it's with Soulflayer or a traditional Black-Red Hollowed One list, you're going to need to be a lot luckier than I was to have this card work out for you. All right, let's play some Standard and some video games.